I'm Billy Hollowell, and I'm here with Noemi Padilla. Naomi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Now, you have a really incredible story. You were a nurse in an abortion clinic for 4 years, correct?
Yes.
And you came out of that. First, let's start with working in the clinic. How did you end up with that job?
It was location. It was an easy. It was easy. I was a surgical nurse in New York, and when I relocated to Florida, it was just by my house, and it was easy work for me because I had done surgical nursing in New York. So I was like easy peasy. And I really honestly felt walking in that I was going to be doing the best possible nursing care that I could give to the women. Like, what better care to give for somebody they're going through such a hard time at that moment.
And that was your perspective going into it.
I was going to be the best damn nurse that I could be for them and give them the best possible care.
And once you got in there and you started doing the job, what was that like?
The complete opposite of everything that I thought that I was going to be do going in. It didn't happen immediately, but there were flags pretty much, walking in. There was very little actual nursing care, very little actual human interaction and human compassion. It was more like an assembly line, and it was more very robotic, very everything that I had never done before.
Did you start to have moral issues? At what point did you start to have a moment where you said, maybe this isn't something I should be doing?
Well, honestly, you always have the moral issue, which is why we're the biggest liars to ourselves. Like, I would go home at the end of the day and be like, oh, piece of pie, piece of cake, but I couldn't face myself in the mirror. So the moral issue was always there. We just buried it really, really deeply. About 2 years in, it was more difficult for me to continue to lie to myself. I was alienated from my family. The only people I interacted with were other abortion workers, anybody at the clinic.
Did your family dislike that you were doing this job?
Yes, but they were supportive. They didn't shun me or anything, but it just, like, you can't come home and, have dinner time conversation and say, yes, I just, performed an abortion on a 26-weeker.
Right.
Something like that. So you obviously can't have that conversation. And how was your day? What are we supposed to explain? I was busy putting baby parts together. So you can't do that. So you're pretty much isolated, and your entire life becomes the abortion clinic.
And what was your journey out?
It was a long one. I was there for 4 years, and mine was a little bit different because I was actually facilitating for other abortion workers to be able to leave and get connected with, and then there were none, which is the ministry that really helps abortion workers to come and cross over. And when you leave the abortion clinic, they shun you. The actual clinic shuns you. They give you they'll lie about you. They'll give you horrible recommendations. They'll do anything so that you can't progress because they want you to need them and have to come back.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like the anchor for them to try and get the younger staff out. But you can only do that for so long. And then I had this really difficult procedure, and I couldn't lie to myself anymore. It was a procedure that should not have been done on a very healthy baby, and that was it for me. I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, listen, I thank you so much for sharing your story today with us and for being here at the March for Life. Everyone else, make sure you continue watching the live stream.